Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MaxSpeedTV. As tonight we are at Daytona, the freshly paved Daytona, the very smooth, the very fast Daytona. And I am not alone tonight. I have with me a partner in crime, and that is Steve Baker. Steve Baker, how you doing tonight?
Doing great tonight, KR, and did see some action here at Daytona Speedway here in the 3 Wide Motorsports 250.
You're right, this is the 3 Wide Motorsports 250. This race is being patroned by the team 3 Wide Motorsports. Those drivers, we'll get a chance to talk to them in a little bit, but they consist of DJ Mitzel, Squirmin Herman, and Todd Poston. Make sure you check those guys out here in a little bit when we get a chance to talk to them. But before we do that, Steve, we've been watching some practice, and these guys have been doing a couple single card groups and multi-card groups, and so far the speed charts are kind of all up and down.
Yeah, all up and down, and right now 3 cars on track that hold the top 3 times. That's James Mayer, Kelly Milam, and Chris McCullough. Kelly ran up front the majority of last week's race at Talladega, but ended up short there in the long run with the finish coming down to fuel mileage. So, play in the fuel last week. Can't wait to see what happens this week.
Well, it was a spectacular finish last week as 4 teammates all across the start-finish line, all out of fuel. And it was just a spectacular finish. But tonight, might see something similar. Who knows? It's super speedway racing. But don't forget, coming up next Monday, February 11th, the OP Racing Super Speedway Series will be at the 2007 Daytona track. That will be a great race as well, that very bumpy Daytona. And then Tuesday, February 5th, that is tomorrow at 7:50 p.m., the Racing for a Cause Vapor Trails Clothing Truck Series will be doing the Make-A-Wish 53 by Downforce Designs. And Steve, I think you're going to step out of the booth and behind the wheel for that one, aren't you?
Yeah, we'll be in the trucks tomorrow, and be a good show. Talladega's pretty crazy usually, so see how it falls out.
Well, good luck to you in that for tomorrow. We look forward to calling your race in that one. Well, guys, if you haven't heard, we are on both Twitch and on YouTube. So I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to everyone joining us and watching the broadcast here tonight. Got some great racing action coming your way. Final 2 minutes, 18 seconds of practice. And these guys have been practicing for about an hour. Only 14 cars have turned a lap time. And Steve, as a driver, how much is practice worth here at Daytona?
Well, it's definitely worth getting out there, I think, with a group and seeing what the draft feels like, seeing how the track conditions are depending on temperature. And today we've got 80-degree track temp, so not too hot, but a little warm, and I see that fall as this session sort of goes towards nighttime as we get qualifying out of the way and get into the race. The temps are going to drop a bit, so a bit more grip on track the later we go, and I'm definitely thinking that's going to lead to a bit more raciness on the track for all the cars, and maybe even see some 3 wide action here at Daytona.
Well, we mentioned a few new paint jobs here tonight. Before we went live, you and I were talking about it, and one of the paint jobs that I personally like, that is the 62 of Les Levy running a Hurst Performance paint job. Kind of got a throwback old school paint feel to it.
Yeah, great looking car there by Les, and like great looking cars out here at Daytona. Said Les with the throwback. Car's going through the grass right now, so getting that out of the way before the race starts.
02 of David Overstreet working his way down pit lane moment, but topping the speed charts is our rookie in James Mayer, and James, that 95 machine, looks like he's got a little bit of damage on his car here, so he's slowing down, resetting.
No worries. us quite yet since we're still in practice, and I think that's why it pays off to sort of get in the pack, see what the car's feeling like around other people, and getting that experience before the race starts.
All right, there's the checkered flag on our practice session. Moving into qualifying. It is single car qualifying. These guys will be out by themselves, so we will try and bring you this qualifying session and get as many cars to you as we can. One of the first ones out on track, though, that is the 15 of Alex Green. He is getting that thing up to speed. Alex
Green had some pretty eventful moments the past 2 weeks. Looks like he's sporting a little bit of a newer Napa Auto Parts machine there, looks like. A little updated paint scheme for Alex this evening.
Another driver in the 46 machine, that is Kelly Milam. Kelly coming into tonight in 4th place in points. Still looking for his first win of the season. So we'll keep a close eye on that 46 machine. He has a knack for winning the stages. But last season he did pick up a race win and made it all the way into the championship 4.
Yeah, Kelly Milam, last week's pole winner, and led the most laps at Talladega last week, but was unable to bring home the victory due to the fuel mileage. Performance by Len McNeese and a few others, but definitely a fast car, and I'm sure he's looking to bounce back and lead a bunch of laps tonight and come home with the win.
David Overstreet in the 02 machine. Overstreet, a rookie to this OP Racing Superspeedway Monday Night League. If you guys are interested in joining the OP Racing, you can find them on the league tabs in the iRacing League tab session. They are accepting applicants to their feeder series. You have to run the Superspeedway feeder series to get into the Monday night show, but they also have a league on Friday nights, Thursday nights as well. You can check those guys out there if you need a truck or a 2001 throwback.
I believe they run the K&N car there on Thursday and Friday nights, and I've run with them a few times before this season, and blast, great racing there on Thursday and Friday nights as well.
Well, drivers starting to post up some times. The 39 of Jacob Sayers with the fastest time at the moment. He's got a 50.511. Derek Conley sitting in second in the 28 machine.
Yeah, a lot of times popping up right now. Kelly Milam shoots up, and now Derek Conley to the lead in the qualifying times. Derek Conley and Kelly kind of dominated the front row last week at Talladega, staying up front quite a bit together.
91 of Ernie Williams Jr. on your screen right now. Ernie Williams picking up a race win earlier this season. This is going to be race number 8, and Ernie Williams picked up a win here early on, so good on him securing a spot in the chase. Now he just needs to meet all the requirements, but Ernie, a season regular or a league regular out here, and one of those other drivers that finds a way to the front.
Yeah, Ernie Williams Jr. along with Kelly Milam and Derek Conley last week was one of those cars that you just always found up in the top 4. Like you said, he's got a win already this year. Also comes at this same Daytona International Speedway, so sure he will be a contender tonight as well.
Well, Len McNeese in the 184. He is out on track right now, currently in 12th, getting ready to cross the start-finish line. Len picked up a win last week. We mentioned it earlier, very dramatic fashion across the start-finish line, completely out of fuel. And now he is going to qualify in 9th for the moment. So Len sitting 9th. See how well that time holds up as some more cars are starting to take to the track.
Yeah, Len McNeese, like you mentioned, the fuel mileage last week was one of about 5 or 6 cars that ran out of gas on the final lap. Decided to stay out and stretch it about 2 or 3 laps longer than the fuel mileage suggested, and definitely paid off for him and a few others. Probably the most cars I've seen run out of fuel on the last lap ever.
That was an absolutely crazy finish. And if you guys missed it, it is posted up on the YouTube page of MaxSpeedTV. You can go back and look for it. That was the Glenwood Memorial underneath the OP Racing banner. What a wild, wild, wild finish that was. Well, right now we're watching the 128 of Brad Ray as he works his way around this track in that 128 machine, running that high side. So far we have had 14 cars turn a qualifying time. Got about another 10 or 12 cars left to turn a lap time. EJ Mitzel in the 61, he is out on track as well. EJ Mitzel in that yellow French's mustard machine. Had a good showing going.
Yeah, I was gonna say last week had a good show last week with was also one of those fuel mileage takers, and he ended up winning a stage due to fuel mileage. So then the reward definitely paid off for him last week.
Dwayne Cooper in the 00, he's out on track. If you don't know, Dwayne Cooper posts his race live on Facebook. Need to look up Cyber Racing Streams. If you need to, the link is provided in the YouTube chat, but he does a in-live race report and all kinds of other good stuff. But it is only from his car, so make sure you check that out. We'll be here covering the entire race, and he's going to cover just his race. But it does make for a good point of view change.
And we'll see, I'm sure, a few drivers elect not to run times. A few of the guys that might hang towards the back and away from the pack for the first few laps of the race. Always a strategy here at the superspeedway races.
The 89 at Kenneth McCullough is out on track, along with the 4 of Rick Seabrins. Rick Seabrins finds a way to the front. We talked about this a lot last week, and he was on his way to the front before a wildly huge gamble fuel strategy got in the way of that. With this 4 machine, he's going to be one to keep an eye on all night long. I'll tell you, him and Dwayne Cooper have hooked up a couple of times and gone straight to the front.
Yeah, definitely one of those big movers you can see get through the pack at any time. EJ Mitzel, another one of those names you see come through the field a number of times, at least last week. And you mentioned Rick, though. He was also one of those takers of trying the fuel mileage, just to show you how big of a risk reward that was for everyone. Rick, I believe, ran out of fuel coming down the back straightaway off of turn 2, and he was the first to run out. He ended up 20th position from the lead on the last 2 corners, and other 4 of them ended up 1, 2, 3, 4. So that just shows you how close it was, how much of a backfire it can kind of have if you don't make it.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to step away for just a second, as we like to do here, and play our national anthem.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the drivers are starting to take to the lineup here tonight, and we will be bringing you this field right here, right now. Row number 1 made up by the 28 of Derek Conley and the 61 of DJ Mitchell. Row 2 will be the 46 of Kelly Milam and the 62 of Les Levy. Row 3 will be the 91 of Ernie Williams Jr. and the 4 of Rick Seabrans. Row 4 will be the 128 of Brad Ray and the 84 of Aspen Belvin. Row 5 will be the 51 of Travis Elliott and the 00 of Old D Coop, Dwayne Cooper. Row 6 will be the 8 of Cody Ober and the 39 of Jacob Gaddam Stayers. Row 7 will be the 95 of James Mayer and the 07 of Scott Bellum. Row 8 will be the 184 of Len McNeese and the 7 of Josh Milam. Row 9 will be the 02 of David Overstreet and the 15 of Alex Green. Row 10 will be the 42 of Chris McCullough and the 14 of Cody Eldred. Row 11, it's supposed to be the 78 of Mark Vega, but he is our race control for tonight. He will be up in that booth and not behind the wheel, and the 89 of Kenneth McCullough. Row 12 will be the 88 of Josh Durham and the 2 of David McCullough. And row 13 will be the 104 of Brandon Beckrow and the 71 machine of Stephen Herman. And last but not least, the 30 of Todd Poston, bringing up row 14. So, great action coming your way. Getting ready to go green flag racing. Steve, as a driver, what are you trying to do to calm your nerves and prepare for this?
Well, there's only so much you can do. You know the butterflies right before the green flag drops. You kind of just have to settle in, know your plan going first part of the race, and get through that first fuel run, and then everything kind of settles out from there. Definitely want to make sure you don't make any crazy moves to start off with, and settle down and in line.
All right, well, here we go, drivers. Getting ready to go green flag racing. Pace car is off, green flag is out, and we are underway for the 3 Wide Motorsports 250. Derek Conley, DJ Mitchell leading the charge as the field flashes by, trying to get through the gears, trying to get up to speed. And Derek Conley by a nose to the inside of turn number 1. He's got 3 teammates tucked in right behind him in the 46 and the 91.
Yeah, Kelly Milam following in right behind his teammate Derek Conley, and they're both followed by Ernie Williams Jr. We saw that trio up front almost the entire race last week at Talladega. Be on the lookout for them to be up there all night again tonight.
Tonight, we will be experiencing stage racing. Stage 1 is going to end on lap 25. Right when they cross the start-finish line, the caution will fly. Whoever crosses the start-finish line will be the stage winner. First lap already in the books, and Derek Conley going to lead that first lap, but that outside lane and the inside lane really hasn't changed yet.
Yeah, here at the newly paved Daytona Speedway, you'll see that they can hold the bottom line here quite a bit better than in the 07 model. Driver's definitely going to take advantage of that through the corner.
Going to go on board with the 14 of Cody Eldred. Cody on this high side right behind the 15 of Alex Green. My nickname for Alex Green, that is Mr. Excitement. I know it's been taken before, but we're going to use it here for Alex. Because that guy, oh man, he likes to mix it up.
I like to keep it interesting, that is for sure. Last time we were at Talladega, or Daytona, excuse me, even though it was the older model, we saw a 3-wide finish and for the stage, so definitely not scared to make it exciting for the stage win.
Field running nice and smooth here. 2 wide down this long Daytona backstretch. Still out front though, the 28, the 46, the 91. That is Derek Conley, Kelly Milam, and Ernie Williams Jr. All Fuel Sim Racing teammates. All on the inside lane. They are working together to lay out some good laps here. The only teammate that they are missing to complete the group is the 7 of Josh Milam. Josh right now is sitting in 14th place, trying to work his way up to them.
Okay, and you mentioned Rick Seabrand. He's up there in the top 6 on the outside lane. He's followed in behind by Aston Belvin. Levy up there as well, right in front of Rick.
We go on board with Rick Seabrand, looking out at the 62 of Les Levy. Mentioned Les running a new paint scheme. A little throwback to Ricky Bobby on the back bumper. You know, I'm a big fan of that 62's paint job here tonight.
Absolutely, and nothing wrong with the quote there by Ricky Bobby on the back. If you want to go fast, this is definitely the track to do it at.
Yeah, this is one of the tracks that it is okay to go fast on. The faster, the better. But it is difficult to go fast by yourself, so we'll see these guys work in this draft all night long. Should it stay green, we'll see the field get separated through green flag pit stops. And it will be very interesting when that happens, if it does. These guys got about enough fuel to make one pit stop in this stage here. They're about 5 laps short on fuel, 5 to 6 laps.
And we've seen, I'm thinking that's going to be too much to save. We have seen people try the past few weeks to make some pretty crazy saves on fuel strategy. Paying off, sometimes not, but I'm thinking everybody's probably going to want to pit, make it for this first stage. No reason to risk it this early in the race.
Got Bellum in the 07. He's working that 3rd lane now. Dwayne Cooper and Josh Milam also up in that 3rd lane. Dwayne Cooper thought about tucking in behind Aspen Belvin, but he's going to stay to the high side here with some help from Josh Milam. Going 3 wide now on lap 7. So Dwayne trying to make his presence felt here and get to the front. He's doing it. They are working their way to the front. He is side by side with Aspen.
Yeah, slowly but surely those cars, the 00 and 7, making their way to the front. Aspen Belvin having to be really cautious there in the middle. Now Les Levy moves to the middle. Aspen opens up the outside lane, and now we're 3 wide for the lead here at Daytona.
Dwayne Cooper, Josh Milam working their way to the front. Not too many laps ago, we just mentioned Josh Milam running in 14th place. And now here he is, second car in the outside lane, challenging for the lead here.
Oh, wreck, here we go into one.
Big contact, big junk, crashing into turn number 1. Lots of cars getting involved. DJ Mitzel, the rest of the field hard on the brakes. As we're going to go to our instant replay here and back this up. Field coming off a turn, one of those turns. Down the backstretch, as you can see, Dwayne Cooper, Josh Milam, 3 wide with the 61 of DJ Mitzel. DJ all by himself, gonna get too low, gonna get into the 46 of Kelly Milam. Jacob Sayers getting a piece of that in the 39. Take one more look at this. Try another shot here. Everything doesn't always work the way you would like it to. We're on board with DJ Mitzel and the 61 here for this. So just some tight racing, and we are under our first caution.
Caution of the night here on lap 9. We'll probably see the whole field take fuel here to make it to the end of stage 1.
Should be seeing everyone down pit road.
Yeah, Derek Conley in the 28. Ford Mustang going to lead the field onto pit road.
Very important to get into your pit box here cleanly and quickly. Be as efficient as possible. Hit your marks perfectly. Competition very close on pit road. You can lose several spots. All the drivers there. Ernie Williams pulling away.
Yeah, it looks like Derek Conley there just taking fuel to make sure he keeps that lead. He keeps control of the restart. Ernie Williams Jr. right behind him.
All right, guys. Well, while we reset the field, we're going to step away for a minute, and we'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to the 3 Wide Motorsports 250 here at Daytona. Conley is your leader. Coming to lap 12, starting lap 12 here. Coming off a round of pit stops under yellow flag after the caution going into turn 1. KR got some 3 wide racing already. Early into this one, not even halfway through the first stage, and already making their way up to the front on the high side.
It was a little tight through turn 1, or I should say into turn 1. Did see them get together, but at some point you guys decide to try and make your move. With this stage ending on lap 25, Derek Conley, Josh Milam really were trying to make their way to the front. And unfortunately, the 61 of DJ Mitzel just made a little bit of contact with the 46 of Kelly Milam below. And we're under our first caution of the night, but it's coming to an end. The 28 of Derek Conley gonna be the control car. The 91 of Ernie Williams Jr. gonna restart on his outside. Row 2 will be made up of the 84 of Aspen Belvin and the 15 of Alex Green.
And lights out are on the pace car, so we will go green this next time by the flag stand. Won't have to see pit stops the rest of this stage, so everybody should be good on fuel now. A few tire takers, a few no tire takers. Grip here at New Daytona shouldn't be an issue, but you never know, and car's about to drop off the pit road.
Pace car getting ready to pull off. Field on its own now as pace cars hit pit road. Green flag is out, and we are underway here once again. Derek Conley and teammate Ernie Williams Jr. racing door to door. The 84 of Aspen Belvin right behind Derek Conley. Belvin, our inaugural champion, winning last season's championship. This season, the points are way too close to call for anything like that.
Yeah, great restart there by the 28, Derek Conley. Behind him, Aspen Belvin pushing him. He's got Ernie Williams Jr. on to his outside, and he's followed by Alex Green. Little breakaway just a bit for the first 6 or so cars, but no real gaps in the field all the way back.
Coming around to complete our first lap. These cars taking about a full lap to get up to speed. And Derek Conley in the 28 is going to lead that one. And Ernie Williams still on his outside.
I come here to lap 14 out of 25 in this first stage. So over halfway through the first stage and 14 laps into this 100 lap race here around Daytona. A lot of race left, but we've seen the past few weeks that these stage wins mean a lot to these drivers. They definitely are not shy about going for the win here for these stages.
No, they will get after it. They will get rowdy for each stage win, and they will gamble away a race win sometimes, it seems like, to get that stage win. As last week, we saw guys coming across the start-finish line without any fuel to make it around the pit road.
And those bonus points definitely help. I mean, we've seen DJ Mitchell, he climbed to second in the points standings last week after having a stage win and a good finish. So Cody Ober's still your points leader in this series by 11 points over DJ Mitchell. So seen a little bit of a jump throughout the top 10. A number of positions changed, but a pretty tight points battle up front.
Looking out the back of Derek Conley in this 28 machine. Aspen Belvin right behind him. Les Levy, the third car on the inside line. Guys running nose to tail, door to door at pretty close to 180, 190 miles an hour.
You're going to see the pack a lot tighter than we saw them last week without the width of the track of Talladega. Like you saw on the first yellow, it's a lot more difficult for these cars to get steady 3 wide without bouncing around into each other and making a misjudgment, just a slight misjudgment here at Daytona when you're 3 wide. can be catastrophic. You don't have nearly the track width that you do at a track like Talladega.
Field working through the tri-oval here. Still side by side, door to door. The first two rows not changed at all. Scott Bellum, Les Levy in that third row, running door to door. Big wiggle by the middle of the field, including the 00 Dwayne Cooper. Dwayne gonna touch that yellow line here as he follows on the tire marks of Kelly Milam. Now Dwayne running that hot nuts paint job and get to the back bumper of the 4 of Rick Seabrins.
A 184 of Len McNeese, last week's winner, dropping way back, almost point of losing the draft. A few cars are back there, driving a little bit further behind the pack.
Len McNeese in the 184, falling back to the 104 of Brandon Beckrow and the 89 of Kenneth McCullough. That is 22nd, 23rd, and 24th place. Kenneth McCullough having some internet issues. You can see him blinking. It's a good place for him to be right now. Hopefully his internet can get sorted, but nobody wants to be behind a blinking car, as that really affects the speed of the group. Do want to point out the 39 of Jacob Sayers. He is on the lead lap, but he is already 27 seconds behind the leaders. He is running by himself in that 39 machine. Some damage on the back bumper of that, but he is on the lead lap. He's only got about 5-6 more laps to go. Hopefully he can hang on to that lead lap position, maybe get that damage worked on. But the 42 of Chris McCullough, he is 1 lap down as he is working with this lead pack group. But as it stands, he will be the lucky dog recipient, get the waiver round. So he's
we've got
gotta hang on.
Got some 3 wide action up front, 2 rows, 3 rows deep, 3 wide up towards the front, battling for the lead. Derek Conley still out front, but his outside, he's got Alex Green and Ernie Williams Jr.
Going on board with Alex Green in the 15 machine. Alex started 18th, and now he is trying to find a way to win a stage here as he's working that middle lane, coming out just a little bit of ahead of the 91 of Ernie Williams.
Ernie Williams just a moment ago dropped back to 6th position on the outside line. Not sure if he was having any issues. He was out front leading the outside line, dropped back, and now he's finding himself on the 3rd line out front. So make his way back up to even, at least with the leader.
Three wide into turn number 1 we go. Alex Green in the middle in the 15. The 91 of Ernie Williams up along the wall. And the 28 of Derek Conley on the yellow line. Those are your 3 front runners here. As these guys, we talked about it, they all want to win that chase, or not the chase, this, oh my goodness, stage. That's the word I'm looking for, stage. Woo!
And only a few laps left in this first stage to do it as the field goes by a lap machine down on the apron.
Jacob Sayers in the 39 going 1 lap down, so he was unable to hold on to that lead lap. That will give Chris McCullough the advantage as he is in this lead pack draft.
We're now 5 rows deep of 3 wide here towards the front.
Looks like the start to the Indy 500 as they are 3 by 3, several rows deep. And now Ernie Williams in the 91 gonna slice down in front of teammate Derek Conley in the 28, but now he's moving back up to the high side.
Interesting move there by Ernie Williams. Not sure if he was just letting his teammate get back up even with him so that they could battle it out for the stage win. But Travis Elliott now is leading that top line. He's being pushed by Cody Ober.
We go to high up above the track here in our blimp. You can see these guys really working this out, trying to figure out where they want to be jockeying for position. The 28 of Derek Conley still leading the inside line, but Ernie Williams right now leading the charge. But here comes the 51 of Travis Elliott.
These drivers coming to complete lap 23, going to start lap 24, which will be your last lap in stage 1.
Ernie Williams out front in that middle lane. He's not going to drop down to the front. I've talked to Ernie a lot. He prefers to run in this middle groove, but he will go down to the bottom if he feels he needs to throw a block. But here comes Derek Conley and the 84 of Aspen Belvin.
Derek Conley and Ernie Williams Jr. are going to battle out for this stage win. Travis Elliott and crew have dropped back quite a bit behind the third row of cars, so the outside line kind of falling off. Derek Conley pulls ahead as we go through 3 and 4. Ernie Williams going to have to side draft him to have a chance at winning this stage. Ernie Williams Jr. closing the gap. Side by side to the stage
contact!
Turn.
Derek Conley is going to get hit, but crosses the start-finish line. So Derek Conley will most likely be your stage winner. Kelly Milam in the 46, he's going to get caught up late into this. But big contact as they came to the end of the stage. We're going to back this up, go to our MaxSpeedTV replay.
Looks like the 15 of Alex Green just in the rear bumper of Ernie Williams Jr. gets him a little loose coming up through the flag and down into the 28.
Cody Ober, Scott Bellum getting into the wall. Cody Eldred in the 14 going around. The 128 spinning. Les Levy in the 62 able to squeak by. You take another look at this. On board with the 62 machine. Aspen Belvin hard into the inside wall. So, wow. This league never disappoints when it comes to exciting finishes, whether it's a race finish or a stage finish. And I do believe it's the 28 of Derek Conley. Am hoping for word from race control.
We said that they are no eager to, or definitely not scared to make it interesting for the end of the stage, and quite a close finish to the stage there. I believe Alex Green might have ended up second.
Well, drivers are coming down pit road here. Everyone should be hitting pit road. The 28 of Conley got a little bit of damage, but man, I don't know if I'd use a fast repair just yet. I think I'd try and hold on and use my fast repair at the end of the second stage. But all these guys onto pit road. DJ Mitzel in the 61 already there. DJ caught up in that and having to take a flatbed truck back to his pit stall.
I think Derek Conley did just that. Didn't see him take tires or a fast repair there, so he's going to maintain the lead.
Conley on fuel only. The guys, we're going to step away. We're going to get set up stage 2, and we'll be right back after this.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back, race fans, as we have caught up with our stage 1 winner, and that is Derek Conley in the 28. Derek, you win the stage, but it's not without a little bit of drama.
Yeah, that was pretty intense for like the last, I think 5 or 6 laps. It could have been 20. It just, each lap at that point felt like it took an eternity to finish. How close we were 3 wide, like 4 or 5 rows deep. And then right there about to cross the line, all I know is my rear end kicked out hard left on me, and there was a handful trying to keep her straight.
Well, you kept it straight. You crossed the line as the stage winner, and because you were able to keep it straight, you hit pit road as the leader, come off pit road as the leader. You put this thing on pole. So far, you're checking off all the boxes. How you feeling about your chances tonight?
Same as always. I have a very slim chance of bringing this thing in at first at the final. It's super speedway racing. I mean, there is skill involved, obviously, because, I mean, you can see consistently you typically have the same people near the front, but then whenever you hit the 20 laps or under to go, all heck's going to break loose, and, you know, it's just a coin toss.
All right, man. Well, lights are going out on the pace car. Looks like you're choosing the high side here. What kind of advantage do you feel the high side gives you versus the inside?
The high side on the straight stretches is it's going to be a lot faster because you're able to build that momentum coming out of the turn. The low side's obviously going to be faster through the turn because it's, you know, less distance to travel through the turn. But then again, you're shaving off a little bit more speed. So I've been on the low side the entire night. It doesn't matter to me which side I run, but I'm going to give the high side a shot and just see what happens.
All right, man. Well, good luck to you here in that 28 machine. Very solid run going for you. And we look forward to talking to you in the post race and maybe even at stage 2.
All right, man. Thanks. Y'all have a good night.
That is Derek Conley, driver of the 28 machine, Sim Racing member, giving us a quick bit of his time. But we're getting ready to go back green flag racing. I don't know about you, Steve, but this old ticker can't take too much more of this.
Yeah, always exciting to the checkered flag, whether it's the black and white checkered or the green and white stage checkered flag. Gotta keep it interesting, that's for sure. Derek Conley, like you say, gonna lead him to green this time. He's got Cody over on the bottom lane, starting second. Cooper in the 00 is gonna be third, and now it's Green in the 15, starting fourth for this restart.
Pace car pulling off, Cody over on the inside, Derek Conley on the outside. Green flag is out, and we are back underway here for the 3 Wide Motorsports 250. We've had 1 caution for an accident, 1 caution for a stage ending, which resulted in an accident as they crossed the start-finish line, but we're going to make it through stage 2 here in a very dramatic fashion. Dwayne Cooper in the 00, sitting as the second car in the inside line. Looks like he got a little bit of damage to his back bumper in that stage-ending melee. We know he used a fast repair because that car looking very straight from his first incident, our first caution. So that damage there in that 00, he's going to have to deal with that the rest of the night.
Now, luckily, when you're tucked up in behind another car, doesn't seem to affect it as much as if you were the lead car in the pack. The bad news for that is if he wants to become the lead car in the pack, he's going to have to find the speed to beat a clean car somewhere else and get lucky with a run or a big push from a group of cars.
Cody Ober in the 8. Right now he is out front, and Ober leading his first laps of tonight's race. So far it looks like Derek Conley in that 28, wanting to be on that outside lane, use the momentum that it builds down the straightaway, has not worked in his favor, as the 8 of Cody Ober, with some good help from the 00 Dwayne Cooper, is out front now.
Derek Conley with a little bit of right front damage to his car. That could be affecting his ability to pull out in front of the 8 of Cody Ober. They stayed pretty even here through the tri-oval and into one.
Well, guys, how about we do it? Let's do a little bit of crank it up. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the 95 knocked down on the inside. That is James Mayer. He is going to blend up very carefully, very cautiously. Don't know why that 95 went down there. Don't know if he got a bump or wanted to bail out of the situation, but always intense when you get down below that yellow line down the backstretch, trying to blend in. But James doing a great job here at making that happen. We're on lap 35 of 100 of this event here tonight, which is the 3 Wide Motorsports 250. And we're also in the middle of stage 2. Stage 2 will end when they cross the start-finish line on lap 50. The person who crosses the start-finish line will be your stage winner. And Steve, this race so far has been full of excitement from start to finish.
Stage 1, we saw an incident early on about lap 11, and then there on we had pretty wide racing, about 6 rows worth. Really to see, you know, the majority of that second half of stage 1, and then coming to the line about the last 3 or 4 laps, battle between Ernie Williams Jr. and Derek Conley that ended up in a little bit of an incident in the stage. Derek Conley picking up the stage win. He's still out there on the outside of the 8 of Cody Ober, but haven't really seen him have the push or the speed to get up back in front of him to take back over that bottom line. Cody Ober's looked pretty strong there.
That 28 did suffer some damage, and it's right behind the right front wheel. That car did take damage at the end of the stage, so you got to wonder if that's affecting it and if he's going to use his fast repair when this stage ends.
Yeah, I think it's still a good call for him to save that fast repair. He's still up front, got the track position. You know there's a caution coming out at lap 50. So no reason to take it really with that first stage end, and let's see if he can keep himself up front. I think he's got a good shot at it. See a few cars back up to the top side, making that top side move. Travis Elliott and the 42 of Chris McCullough, and their cars into the mix.
Well, 3 wide once again. Lap 37 of 100. These guys starting to feel the pinch at the end of the stage, but the 42 of Chris McCullough pushing the 51 of Travis Elliott. And we have seen that 42 machine. Oh, so he's going to turn. Big contact at the front. And now the 88 is getting involved. Ernie Williams flipping.
That's green in that. Sebring, Travis Elliott, Ernie Williams. Number of fast cars selected in that incident.
We're going to go to our MaxSpeedTV replay. On this one, we're going to start this one out on board with the 07 of Scott Bellum. I was just talking about how the 42 was helping push the 51 to the front, and then it all goes wrong. 2 cars going airborne. Man, what a calamity into turn number 1 that was. So much happening right there. Hard to break all of that down. Down into turn number 1, Chris McCullough making contact with the 51. Ernie Williams, Alex Green, all getting a piece of it. Todd Poston in there, Josh Milam, Rick Seabrins, Scott Bellum, Josh Durham in the 88 here. Man, big chunk at the front of the field.
And from what I'm seeing, the 51 of Travis Elliott just gets a very tiny bump. Chris McCullough going into turn 1, and when you get this thing turned left, going into the corner, the rear end kind of lightens up just a bit. Really, any contact will send it around. So, fortunate incident there for Travis Elliott. They made it their way to the front. To have the sure.
Cody Ober in the 8, leading the charge to pit road. The 00 Dwayne Cooper hot on his bumper. Guys, all gonna get fuel, maybe tires at this point, though I don't think that will be the case. Is Dwayne Cooper and Cody Ober slow into their pit stalls. And Dwayne Cooper gonna be one of the first ones off of pit road. Garrett Conley in the 28 as he hit his pit box.
He's still there. I believe he's probably going to wait on some repairs, going to continue saving that fast repair. Cars leaving the pits with pretty heavy damage. Les Levy got some good amount of front end damage. Cooper just a tiny bit to the front end of his machine as well.
Big group of drivers coming off of pit road this time.
Seabrins looks like going to take a fast repair that time through the lane.
All right, several drivers making their pit stops, but a couple, well, I should say nobody stayed out. Everyone hit pit road. I do want to point out we do have 2 cars out of the race here. That is the 89 of Kenneth McCullough and the 2 of David McCullough. Those 2 out of tonight's race. Other than that, we still have 24 cars out circling the track. 22 are on the lead lap. 2 cars 1 lap down. That is the 71 of Stephen Herman and the 61 of DJ Mitzel. They are trapped between the leader and the pace car, so it looks like they're going to try and take the wave around here and get back on the lead lap that way, and then hope to make it to the end of the stage.
Still going to be about 10 laps remaining. Stage. Going through lap 39 at the moment.
I do believe that they should have enough fuel to make it to the end of this thing. A good call on their part. And they will be at the tail end of the field here, so they won't be out front having to use up all the fuel, so they can hang back at the back of the pack. In fact, they could even start coasting towards the last part.
And they were part of the group last week that hit fuel towards the end, so nothing new for them.
Your race leader right now, though, is the 00 of Dwayne Cooper. Dwayne in that 00 has the rear bumper damage. Doesn't look like that is going to get any more fixed for tonight. He has made a couple pit stops, and that's about as straight as that thing's going to be.
Just some slight damage to the front end. Doesn't look like it should affect him much at all. Not sure how much that rear damage is going to affect him. Should be okay if he's getting pushed, but never know. Those rear spoilers. He's going to have Cody over to the outside. Pace car lights go off, and we're going to go green next time by.
Pace car lights might be off, but the racetrack lights are on as we are transitioning into nighttime. That is going to affect how these cars handle. Grip is going to start picking up. The intensity is going to pick up. We are getting close to the end of the second stage. We have about a 7-lap shootout to the end of this thing. And old D Coop is out front with the 95 of James Mayer right behind him for this restart. And then the 8 of Cody Ober and the 15 of Alex Green, those are teammates, DEI wannabes. They will be on the outside for this restart. And Steve, oh man, trying to win a stage versus trying to win the race. How do you balance that?
I tend to go into every race, not even really worried about stages. I'm thinking about that last flag that falls on the race, so don't put too much thought into stage racing, but hey, we've seen people definitely, there's quite a bit to go for them, and they do pay off a point, a bonus, so definitely a lot of takers thinking it's valuable to go for them, and hey, can't blame them. We've seen Alex Green in that outside second row position a number of times tonight, and he's been a great asset for that outside line, pushing the lead car of that. So for Cody over here, the pace car pulls off, and we're back underway here in Daytona.
Alex Green right on the back bumper of Cody Over, giving him a good shove. Meanwhile, the 00 Dwayne Cooper doesn't have anywhere near the help from the 95 of Mayer. And the 15 and the 8 have an opportunity here to clear Dwayne Cooper.
That bottom line is going to close back up as we get back onto the back straightaway. 15 is clear now, and the 8 and 15 both drop to the bottom line.
That's going to leave the 62 of Les Levy all by himself for a moment, but here comes a damaged 46 of Kelly Milam to get to the back bumper of Les Levy. But that 62 losing a lot of ground here, coming to this stage, 6 laps to go in it.
A little bit of a different scene than we've seen so far tonight. The first 4 or 5 cars profile, you do have Les Levy, and now Dwayne Cooper steps out of line. Twice about it, drops back down into that 3rd position. Didn't really have any help. Les Levy continuing to fall back just a bit. Just side by side. Alex Green down on the apron, coming back up, but he's got Dwayne Cooper to his outside.
Dwayne Cooper in the 00 working that outside lane with the 95 of James Mayer. These front 2 rows, they've switched spots. Dwayne Cooper and the 00 and the 95 restarted this on the inside, and the 8 and the 15 started on the outside, but here they come. They switched roles. And now the double zeros on the outside trying to make something happen. And man, these guys are getting after it. They know the stage end is coming. These drivers all starting to jockey for position.
The outside line is lined back up 2 by 2, and a little bit of side-by-side contact there between the Alex Green and Dwayne Cooper last time through the tri-oval. Definitely racing hard here as we come to close stage 2, lap 45, coming to 46 to 50. Close this second stage.
15 of Alex Green, wobbling as he entered the corner. Got into the door of Dwayne Cooper, but so far we stay green. Nobody bent out of shape just yet. It did break up the momentum of that outside lane. But here comes Dwayne Cooper down into turn number 1, door to door with Alex Green.
Dwayne Cooper with that little bit of damage. He's going to have to get some pushing help, and he's also going to have to get close down and side draft off those front 2 cars of Cody Ober and Alex Green. Does it right there, and you see him pulling quite a bit closer to the front. He's right down on the door of Alex Green.
Very, very close racing here tonight in this 3 Wide Motorsports 250. Cody Ober in the 8, leading it for the moment, and Ober has been out front now for 14 laps. So far, our most laps led is by Derek Conley with 26 laps. Conley with some heavy damage on his machine, trying to work his way back through the field. Right now, he is currently scored in 11th place. But with 3 laps to go in this stage, Dwayne Cooper in the double zero, leading the charge on the outside, but the 88 of Josh Durham trying to make something happen all by himself.
88 of Josh Durham tried to jump out to that top 3rd line a number of times, just has not had the help to get his car positioned up there. Les Levy's kind of in that middle position between the 2nd, 3rd lines, trying to keep him at bay. And doing a great job of it, kind of stalling that outside run, making sure he's holding that 6th position on the outside of Cody Eldred.
Riding on board with Josh Durham here in the 88 down the backstretch. He has no help, so he's losing some ground. He can make it up pretty quick here as well.
Gonna look back to be behind the 7 of Josh Milam and stop the bleeding of dropping back too far. Cody Ober, still your race leader. He's got Dwayne Cooper still to his outside, and Dwayne right down on the side door of Alex Green in that Napa machine. We're coming to the last time by for this stage, and Cooper dropping back just a little bit. And a wreck.
Ooh, big contact.
Williams Jr. up into the outside line. Not sure who or if anyone touched him there.
Aspen Belvin getting involved in the 84. Saw Ernie Williams going up and over. That's the 2nd time tonight that the 91 machine has gone airborne. We're going to back this up. We're going to go to our MaxSpeedTV replay.
Like the 46 machine of Kelly Milam. The slight misjudgment and got into the right rear of Ernie Williams Jr.
Ernie going airborne into the catch fence. Heavy, heavy damage on that 91 machine. Take another look at it here. We ride on the nose of Brad Ray on the bumper of this thing in the 128. See the 91 of Ernie Williams. 46 of Kelly Milam. Contact. Big junk, but Brad Ray finding a hole like a running back through his offensive line. '84 Aspen Belvin also getting a piece of the action. Gonna take one more look at this. Aspen Belvin in that Punisher machine. To the inside wall for the second time tonight. Heavy contact for him as he is smoking. Cody Eldred in the 14, not hitting pit road. But the 8 of Cody Ober is your stage 2 winner. We'll get a brief word in with him after our pit stops here. It looks like Derek Conley going to be the first one off pit road, just beating out Dwayne Cooper.
And Derek Conley still, I don't think, has used his fast repair. Probably thinking there's still quite a bit of action left in this one.
All right, so let's get a quick word in with our stage 2 winner. That is Cody Ober in the 8. Cody, you got your ears on, bud?
Yes, sir.
Cody, you win the second stage here. You did so after leading 17 laps, but that 8 machine looking fast.
Oh, it's feeling fast. And, I mean, I got a great push by my teammate Alex Green coming to the stage, and he pushed the lights out of me, and I'm glad that he actually finished second in the stage to get him as much points as he can.
Well, that 8 machine led quite a few laps. Got autism awareness on the hood. That 8 looking very fast, very racy. What's it going to take to win this thing is now you're going to be starting in 5th spot.
From the way I've seen it is just staying clean. There's been a couple of mishaps so far in the race, and we've been lucky enough to get the least amount of damage as possible from them. So hopefully we just keep that trend going and not get into a big wreck.
All right, Cody. Well, before we let you go, any shout outs or thank yous?
Thank you all for broadcasting the race. You always do a great job. I want to say thank you to my teammate Alex Green for the great push to the stage win. Yeah, thank everybody for coming out and watching.
All right, that is the driver of the 8 machine, Cody Ober, your stage 2 winner. So guys, we're going to reset for our final stage. Nobody go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the pace car is peeling off. Derek Conley, Dwayne Cooper on the front row for this restart. Green flag is out, and we are back underway here for the final stage of the 3 Wide Motorsports 250, and Dwayne Cooper gonna fill a small hole in that 00 and slide right into second place behind Derek Conley and right in front of Todd Poston.
Dwayne Cooper not wasting any time there, makes sure he wants to be on the bottom. Now he pops back out to the top as he sees the 8 of Cody Ober coming. It's in front of that fast car. Cody gonna push Dwayne Cooper right up next to Derek Conley. Derek Conley finds himself back out in lead of that bottom line, but Dwayne Cooper and Cody Ober might have something to say about that.
Todd Poston in the 30, sitting behind Derek Conley in the 28. Behind him is 07 of Scott Bellum. That makes up the first 3 cars on the inside line. The outside line made up of Dwayne Cooper in the 00, the 8 of Cody Ober, and the 128 of Brad Ray.
And Derek Conley out front that 28 machine, heavy damage to the front of his car. Well, I think he has a faster pair left, but might just be biding his time for later in the race. It could affect him here if there's no yellow. Definitely could affect him if he finds himself without a partner. We do happen to have some green flag pit stops.
Field working their way through the tri-oval now. And Conley back out front. He has led the most laps here tonight. So far he's led for 30 of our 56 laps. This field, though, very, very hungry. Each and every one of these drivers very capable of a win. Very hard to be a repeat winner here in this league. Last season, only 2 repeat winners, and one of them was the 28 of Derek Conley. However, Conley doesn't have a race win yet on this season, so he would like to pick up his first win on the season.
Like you said, no repeat winners, and Dwayne Cooper takes over the bottom line lead. Almost pulls it back too much to the top, leaving the door open, but is able to shut the door on the 28 of Derek Conley. Dwayne Cooper now out front in the lead here at Daytona, but Cody Ober mentioned how fast that 8 machine is. He's going to have the lead of the outside line. Pulls up, he's being pushed by Brad Ray. Cody Ober not quite clear of the 00 quite yet. He's going to go side by side at 3 and 4. Vic Sebring's in behind the 128 of Brad Ray. Todd Poston in 3rd position on the bottom line.
At 4, Rick Seaburns, as we go on aboard with him. He is, he's one of my favorite drivers to watch because he is very smart, very crafty. If he can survive to the end of a race, he's always got a shot at winning it. And here he is, final stage. He's back up front. He's had an up and down night, but making his way back to the front as the 128 of Brad Ray right in front of him. Our throat punch donor himself. And Brad Ray, a rookie here to this OP Racing League.
You see just how much lanes are moving around in front of Rick.
Side by side into turn number 1 they go once again. The 14 of Cody Eldred right behind the 4 of Rick Seaburns. Cody got a little bit of damage, but these cars all starting to take some wear and tear. The league started out with 2 fast repairs on the season. Couple races in, they decided to drop it down to 1. And I feel it really has changed the dynamic of the strategy here. Some of these guys, knowing that they only got 1 fast repair available to them, are hanging back still, as you know, it's hard to know when you're going to need it.
It definitely changes the way you approach a race, knowing how many faster pairs you have. There's 0, 1, or 2. Definitely changes the driving styles. We see people a lot more aggressive knowing they have a backup plan in the books, but a number of these drivers already having used their faster pairs are probably going to be trying to play it safe here for the remainder of this race because they can't afford to have trouble.
Do want to point out that we have had some cars get back out on track that were previously not out there, as Rick Sebrin's going to slice down in front of the 30 of Todd Poston. Very close moment there. But that caught my breath for just a minute, but it all worked out. McCullough and David McCullough, part of the White Trash Motorsports team, we reported those guys as out earlier. They have managed to get back out on track. Kenneth McCullough now in 25th and David McCullough running in 22nd. Ernie Williams out of the race. He is going to be scored in 26th. And it looks like the 88 of Josh Durham and the 104 of Brandon Beckgrove are out of the race as well. They will be 23rd and 24th.
Update back to the front now. Cody Ober, leader. Make it this time by. Come to lap 62 of 100.
Side by side into turn number 1 they go. It has gotten fully dark here at Daytona. The lights have been on for a minute and the track is starting to cool down. That means the speeds are picking up. The grip level is going higher and higher. These guys are going to feel a little bit more confident in their car after each lap.
We're 8 laps into this run. Started this stage back on, final stage back on lap 54. Should see these guys go 21 or so laps into this stage where they'll need fuel.
We go on board with the 89 of Kenneth McCullough. McCullough does have a race win on the season, but tonight he is currently mired in 23rd place, 11 laps down. But it does look like he figured out what his internet issue was, as he has got a solid connection now. But it did cost him a couple laps to get that fixed, but he got back out there. So, and it looks like the 2 of David McCullough was sharing the internet with him, as he is also now 9 laps down. But both of them back up and running.
Yeah, and if you're able to, there's no reason really to sit out if you can get back on track, no matter it be damage or internet issues. You know, especially at a super speedway, you could see trouble at any moment, and that could take out a number of cars, and you could pick up some positions by just being out there and riding around. So both out there trying to pick up all they can.
Oh yeah, I love that no quit attitude. Too often you'll see drivers just have one thing go wrong, bail out and go, well, I'm not gonna win, and they'll quit the race. Well, you know, you gotta go until you just can't go anymore. You never know what's gonna happen in a race. Yeah, you might be 6, 7, 8 laps down, but you don't know, especially in a super speedway, you don't know how many people are gonna go wheels up, you know, and that's the end of their race. Like, they can't go any further, but if you can, stay out there.
Absolutely, and especially if you're battling for a season-long championship or just a points battle in general, every point can come down to the end to matter. And I've seen a number of championships won and lost by single-digit points, so every point can matter over the course of a season, especially with how close these super speedway races are.
Super speedway racing is a mind of its own. It's its own genre. It's its own little entertainment niche, whatever you want to call it. And it does take a certain finesse to it. And right now, the 8 of Cody Ober has found a way back to the front, as he was our stage 2 winner. but after a bad pit stop, lost some ground. But here he is out front once again. He has been out front for 21 laps in total for tonight. Derek Conley in the 28 has led for 30. This race starting to wind down. We are getting very close to the 3/4 mark. These drivers have all kind of settled in for the final stage, but good time to talk about green flag pit stops. We never talked about it, but our race analysis here tonight, we are doing 100 laps, 250 miles, tire window. Well, you may or may not need tires, but around 50 laps wouldn't be a bad idea to take them. Our fuel window is anywhere from 18 to 20 laps, and we are coming up on that in this fuel run. Pit road speed is 60 miles an hour. As you can see, it is a beautiful night here in Daytona. 77 degrees, track temp. A very cool 78. That has given these guys a lot of grip here. And Steve, we're seeing them go 3 wide through the tri-oval.
Yeah, big push there from 14 and Cody Eldred, pushing that 1.8 of Brad Ray up to the front. He still elects to stay out in that outside line, allowing Cody over to make a run through 1 and 2. Maintain that lead. Now Cody is our points leader, has yet to win a race this season, said his car was strong tonight. Seen him win a stage already. Looking to be one of the favorites out there for tonight.
Cody Ober, though, challenging right back, taking the lead away is the 00 Dwayne Cooper following in the 8 Machines tire tracks. Derek Conley in his 28, third car on that inside line. And then the 4th car is the 4 Machine of Rick Seabrans. These guys all making their way to that inside lane as we're going to really start seeing guys try and put that car on the inside, because we very possibly could see green flag pit stops here within the next few laps.
And one thing green flag pit stops tend to do is stretch a field out, to file it up and make a few more packs with smaller cars. One car to make a note of is that 28 of Derek Conley, who finds himself running in that 3rd position on the bottom line. Position overall, still has some damage, but has yet to use his fast repair. Look to see him use that and make a surge to try and win this race, as he led the most laps early on. Has just kind of been biding his time, get his car fixed back, and the speed to really be out front and challenge for a win.
We are riding on board the 00 of Dwayne Cooper, looking out the back of it. You can see how much damage the 28 of Conley has. You can also get a good sense of how long these cars have been out here. You see the 2 got rubber marks all over it from little chunks of rubber just sticking to the nose of that thing. It's very close to the 14 as we're 3 wide through the corner.
Kelly Milam pushed by Josh Milam, making their way up front. Haven't seen anyone really single file out. You'll see the field sort of single file out as we prepare for green flag pit stops, but not quite there yet. They're still battling for that lead.
Oh man, Dwayne Cooper very close to the 14 of Cody Eldred through the corner. We might just see a caution.
Yeah,
there it is. Big contact as Dwayne Cooper, Derek Conley, and the 14 of Cody Eldred goes spinning. Man, those guys were trying to make a caution happen, and it looks like they did, as we're going to go to our MaxSpeedTV replay. Holy cow, down the backstretch is where we're going to find this taking place. A very close moment here between the 14, the 00, and the 46 as they go through turn number 1, but coming up off the corner, it looks like the 2 gets into the back of the 00, and that is what's been a turning. We're going to have to take another camera angle here as we go on board with Dwayne Cooper. And the 2 does look like it shoots down into Dwayne Cooper. one more time. We'll take another look at this. That is going to collect those three of Dwayne Cooper, Cody Eldred, and Derek Conley. Moreover, though, we are back live here. We will see these guys all come down pit road as here they come.
Brad Ray just by a hair in that lead once the yellow flag flew. Going to lead the field on the pit road, followed by Cody Ober. There's a gap between the first three cars. Pit road, you could see that coming to play as they exit, trying to maintain position.
Oh, Brad Ray in the 128 overshoots his pit box. The 8 of Cody Ober very timid when he hit his. We'll see how this plays out. The 4 of Rick Seabrans, though, gonna come out of pit road first. And then after that, oh man, it was too close to call. But Cody Ober losing a spot to Rick Seabrans as Rick Seabrans had a stellar pit stop. 7.6 seconds for Rick Seabrans versus 8.1 of Cody Ober. But man, I'll tell you what, this race is gonna find a whole new level of intensity as we're wrapping it up. We're gonna enter the final quarter of this race once we go green flag racing.
Looks like Kenneth McCullough and David McCullough both gonna be in front of the leader, so they're gonna get one lap back apiece with the wave around.
They have been out there for a while though, so that wave around, I think they're just waiting for the one lap car down pit stop. And the 2 is peeling away, and the 89-61 all peeling away for their pit stops here. Those guys are multiple to 1 lap down. But the 4 of Rick Seabrans gonna inherit the lead.
You hear Rick Seabrans hosting at the moment, trying to save fuel. Gonna have to stretch it a bit, almost in the same position we had last week. We're just about 4 or 5 laps short. Have not doubled up yet, so they're gonna get another lap under caution the other way. We're probably going to be at lap 76 going back to green, still going to be short on fuel, but we saw a ton of people try and play the game last week, come back down to that situation. But if we're in that situation, you don't want to find yourself as the lead car because you're going to burn the most fuel out of everybody.
Do want to point out that the 28 of Derek Conley finally used his fast repair. That 28 machine, nice, smooth, and straight lines, but he has got a lot of work to do as he is going to restart in 16th place. Cody Ober in the 8, going to restart second, and the 46 of Kelly Milam, after getting caught up very early on into some incidents, he is going to restart third with the 7 of Josh Milam right behind him.
And go back to Derek Conley. He was part of that last caution, got a little bit more damage from it, so that decision to not use the fast repair at the halfway break really paid off for him, as he would have picked up more damage. Just sat there and rode with the damage, rode through the storm, was a part of that issue with a caution, and it paid off that he didn't use the fast repair. Now he's got a completely fine car to run through, but like you said, he's got his work cut out for him as he's going to have to make his way through the majority of the field.
We did see a couple guys hit pit road for their last pit stop. A little bit of splash of fuel. The 07 of Scott Bellum, the 14 of Cody Eldred, Chris McCullough in the 42, the 184 of Len McNeese. All these guys hitting pit road at the last second, but I have a feeling that pit road was closed So I think the starting at the tail end of the field, though, really won't hurt them too much.
Yeah, shouldn't hurt them too much, and I think the reason you're seeing them drop down now is to just go pick up extra fuel. You don't have the track position, no harm, no foul, and going up and picking as much up as you can. You're going to have more than everybody up front, and puts you really in a better position to save fuel and try and win it that way. They'll put you at the back of the field, like you said, but be maintained if everybody else has to stop under green.
All right, so the 07 is Scott Bellum, the first one off of pit road, who hit pit road at that last little second. So here we go. Another fuel strategy race starting to set up. The 4 Rick Seabrans, the 8 of Cody Ober gonna make up row number 1 for this restart. The 46 of Kelly Milam, the 7 of Josh Milam gonna make up row number 2. Getting ready to go green flag racing. And here we go. Rick Seabrans in the 4, Cody Ober in the 8. Side by side through the tri-oval. Short shoot here into turn number 1. Still side by side.
Bottom lane there has about 10 more cars in it due to the fact that most of them stopped for that extra fuel. Sure, that's going to come into play as far as momentum, but a number of cars with a fuel advantage now. I think if you're one of these top 4 cars, you're going to want to just play it out and try and stay up front and hope for a yellow. Otherwise, you might be out of luck.
One yellow could change the dynamic of this race. Who is the 8 of Cody Ober? A big moment there as he blinks out, regains his internet, and back he comes. But as I was saying, one caution really will change the dynamic of this race. But yeah, if you're out front, you have to race as if you're going to make that pit stop either way. But it's still, I mean, it is still a long stretch for those guys who hit pit road at the last second.
Yeah, and I would say, if I didn't watch last week's race, I would say everybody would have to come, but miraculously, fuel saving was done in bunches last week, so not sure I would say it's impossible. Definitely unlikely. Sure we're going to see two horseshoes 2 weeks in a row.
Well, they're going to try for it, that's for sure, and we'll keep a close eye on that. As I said, the Scott Bellum in the 07 was the highest runner in those who hit pit road at the last second. But right now, they are mired deep in the field. Bellum in 14th. Chris McCullough is passing for 13th, so we'll keep a close eye on that. But the battle up front, very, very close here.
Eric Conley making a move to the bottom side. He's making his way up through the field already.
Derek Conley currently scored in 8th as he is right behind the 39 of Jacob Sayers. Sayers running a beautiful paint scheme by Airborne Graphics. And Sayers, we haven't got to talk a lot about him, and mostly because he had some harsh words to say about me and that hurt my feelings. Yeah, so we're done talking about Jacob. Well, you didn't know what he said to me.
Back up front, Rick Seabrans. Your leader, Cody Ober. He's been up front for the majority of this race. He's on his outside. And in the second row, both top side and bottom side are the Milams. Josh Milam and that 7 machine on the outside. Kelly Milam on the bottom lane pushing Rick Seabrans.
The inside line gaining a little bit of momentum, as they tend to do through the corners. The outside lane really picks up its momentum down the backstretch. Here comes Cody Ober, the challenge for the lead. But he's got to wait to make his move until he is on the backstretch. That's when we'll see these outside lane drivers really gain a lot of ground.
Those straightaways really going to be generous to the outside line. you're going to try and make a move to the bottom, that's when you got to do it. As you see, Rick Severns gets the momentum back through the corner, able to close the door. As Cody Ober looked like he was going to try and take a stab to drop down to that bottom line.
Josh Milam.
Cody
Oh,
Ober
man.
saves it, but there might be an issue.
Oh, big contact behind him. So far, no yellow. Everyone straightens it out. Oh, my goodness. And they're going to wreck in turn number 1. Not yet, though. They all find a way to make it through.
Huge loss there for the 46, Kelly Milam. 39, Jacob Sayers. Lose a lot of ground there. Saves the car, but we're going to have to change their strategies up after that one.
We're going to have to back this up, go to our MaxSpeedTV replay, just to bring you everything that was going on there. Need to back it up just a little bit further. Kelly Milam in the 46. We see the 8 of Cody Ober. Everyone checking up to allow Cody Ober to recover his car. Somehow 4 and 5 wide, they all make it through here. Oh my goodness, what an absolute salute to these drivers. We're gonna look at this on board on the 46 of Kelly Milam. Great car control by everyone involved. And then when they blend up, everything gets very tight once again, and they all find a way to get through.
Incredible job there for the drivers going into the turn on the apron, making sure their cars don't spin out. Really great saves by everyone involved in that.
Despite all of that, though, that has put the 7 of Josh Milam out front for the first time here tonight. And then the 28 of Derek Conley is right behind him, as Conley's going to make a move to the outside here. He's got the 128 of Brad Ray right there with him. And then the 2 and the 42 White Trash Motorsports drivers, David McCullough and Chris McCullough in that 3rd lane.
Derek Conley, huge push there from Brad Ray. He's going to drop down and take over the lead of that bottom line. So Derek Conley in the 28, back to the front here at Daytona.
That outside lane, the 2 and the 42 teammates, the 2, however, multiple laps down, the 42 on the lead lap. So teammates working together despite the fact that one of them is several laps down. They're going to try and work that outside lane to take over the top spot. Right now, Brad Ray in the 128 losing some ground as he has no help from anyone around him. The 95 of James Mayer, not sure if he wants to run the inside, the middle, or the outside. He is trying to work all those lanes.
And another note is, since that incident a few laps ago did not cause a caution, there's still some doubt on the fuel strategy out there. See that come into play here in the next few laps, I'm sure. We are on lap 85 of 100. Daytona in the 3 Wide Motorsports 250.
16 laps to go. Making a little bit less than that as we're going into turn number 3 here, as the 2 of David McCullough is going to abandon the 42 of Chris McCullough. Did not see that happening, but it has, and now Chris McCullough is going to slide in behind the 128 of Brad Ray.
Not sure if there's a lack of communication there or if the speed was starting to fall off on that top side. Did see that 2 and 42 both drop to that middle lane of the track.
We're going to ride on board with the 7 of Josh Milam. Josh Milam has had an interesting race all night long. Now he is the second car on the inside line, right behind the 28 of Derek Conley. But he's also got the 2 of David McCullough on his outside. McCullough is 9 laps down, currently in 22nd place. He is not wanting to give up his race just yet, and I don't blame him, because anything can happen. When we get to 9 laps to go, that's about the time that he will lose any. Oh, he's going to get
He
turned.
gets turned, and that's going to put Derek Conley in the wall. Huge wreck. That's going to take out a bunch of front runners.
Josh Milam able to get through it cleanly. But Derek Conley in the 28 getting a big piece of that. We're going to go to our MaxSpeedTV replay. Watching these guys work their way into turn number 1. The 2 and the 128 in the outside lane. Contact through the middle of the corner. Gonna collect Chris McCullough. Pretty much almost everyone in that lead pack getting caught up in that. As we take a look at this from high atop our blimp, wow, did I just see someone squeak through? I believe that was the 02 of David Overstreet. We're going to go on board with him. He's going to find a hole to fit this 02 machine. And this is the caution that everyone wanted to see. And it resets everyone's fuel strategies. Everyone can make it from here till the end.
Had no fuel worries here for the rest of this one. And Josh Milam, Cody Ober, a benefit from that. They're going to be your first 2 on pit road. Josh Milam, huge head start on the field as they enter the pits.
Yeah, Josh was able to get through that with just a little bit of contact. And he is going to have all kinds of time on pit road by himself. He is going to pull away here. Not a lot of cars were close to him because of how the pace car caught up to him and everything. Oh man, if you guys are just now joining us, we'll do a quick recap. Stage 1 winner was Derek Conley in the 28. Stage 2 winner was Cody Ober in the 8. And now we're coming to the final 12 laps to go. Josh Milam is out front after squeaking through a very, very close situation. DJ Mitzel, Stephen Herman, Todd Poston, all between Josh Milam and the pace car. But I believe these guys had hit pit road before that caution came out, so they might be our new race leaders. Going to wait for timing and scoring to get caught up here. And not only that, we have seen 3 Wide Racing to finish the stages. We saw them crash after they crossed the start finish line for stage 2. These guys really are laying it out on the line here almost every single lap.
Yeah, and just an unfortunate incident there with the lap machine of the 2 involved in that. Just about to mention that he was going to keep some cars at bay for Josh Milam and Derek Conley being out in front of that top side line, but with the incident, like you said, everybody resets and gets another go here, and we're on lap 90 of 100, so still enough time for a lot of the drivers throughout the field to make a move. Going to be plenty of laps left to try and win this thing from a few rows back in the field, and still just enough time for anything to happen here at Daytona.
Well, it looks like the 61 of DJ Mitzel is going to inherit the lead. The 71 of Squirmin' Herman himself in second. Todd Poston in the 30. Those guys, by virtue of making a pit stop before that caution came out, were able to stay on the lead lap, make their pit stops, and then get back out on the track and pass everybody while they came down pit road. So a big moment for those drivers, all part of the 3 Wide Motorsports stable. The only team member that they are missing from that top spot is the 184 of Len McNeese. Right now, he is scored in 12th place. So Len in the 184, last week's race winner. And it looks like, once again, an excellent strategy call. The horseshoe has fallen in favor of this 3 Wide Motorsports team, but they still got to find a way to hold on to it for another 9 laps of green flag racing.
Yeah, 9 laps here is an eternity. Pace car lights go off and the field doubles up. A lot of fast cars behind them, but the fuel strategy that they took has paid off for them. It looks like for 2 weeks in a row. Still got to get through the rest of these laps, but got to be feeling pretty good about their decision.
Man, oh man, I'll tell you what. You are not going to be able to stick around for the finish of this thing. You are going to miss out because it is going to be a nail biter. So make sure that you are buckled into whatever seat you are on, strapped in. Don't go anywhere except for maybe to grab that popcorn. I'll let you do that. But other than that, guys, this is going to be a wild finish. We got a 9-lap shootout to the end of this thing. Race number 8 on the season. Chase standings up in the air. These guys all going for it. And I'll tell you what, they don't care if it's a chase, a stage, or the win. They go for it each and every lap. DJ Mitchell in the 61. Waiting for the pace car to get out of his way. Squirmin' Herman himself, the 71 of Steve Herman on the outside. Steve Herman looking to do a miracle win. Todd Poston in the 30. And then on the 7 of Josh Milam, here we go. Green flag racing. The outside lane not really getting up to speed as fast as the inside. DJ Mitchell and Todd Poston gonna start to pull away from the field here, but that outside lane gonna gain some momentum down the backstretch.
Yeah, nobody's gonna be waiting around this time. Bye. No more waiting at the back of the field. It's time to go, and every driver throughout the field, 2 by 2 all the way back, and we have
the
a wreck.
95's going around. Josh Mayer all by himself at the moment. That may not cause a caution.
Trouble up front. DJ Mitchell on the wall.
Big
Josh
jump.
Milam.
This is going to bring out the caution.
Josh Milam tried to squeeze his way through between Stephen Herman and DJ Mitchell, and there was just not enough room.
And Stephen Herman going to end up on his lid. The 95 of Josh Mayer, when he went around, a single car spin is not going to trigger a caution, especially below the racing line. As we see the 95 get spun off out of the way, but Josh Milam in the 7 trying to make a hole. DJ Mitchell going airborne once again, another car getting up in the air. Stephen Herman on his roof on top of Len McNeese, and then settling again on his roof. The 15 of Alex Green. He's gonna get a part of this. We're gonna back this up a little bit more, take another look at it here. You see the 95 go spinning off. And then mayhem in front of Alex. Alex able to shut it down. Oh, looks like he drives through the flipping 71 machine. DJ Mitchell in the 61. Heavy damage on that car.
Big mayhem there. Gonna be interested to see how many cars are left after that one. Bunch of cars gonna pick up damage.
A lot of cars on pit road trying to hammer out some of this damage. Aspen Belvin, DJ Mitzel, Travis Elliott, some of the cars in the shot right here. Len McNeese, Josh Milam, the 95 of James Mayer getting in there as well. Looks like Len McNeese used a fast repair. Mayer using a fast repair, getting back out there very quickly. So some of these guys still in it, but man, they're gonna have a lot of work to do with about 5 laps to go when the green flag drops.
And just taking a look back up to the front of the pack, Todd Poston's going to inherit the lead after that incident. Rick Seburn's going to be second place. Cody Ober in third. Dwayne Cooper in the 00 in fourth. Derek Conley in fifth. And Aspen Belvin was scored in sixth, but he's currently on pit road. Next back is going to be Les Levy, it looks like. Going to make his way into sixth position.
Behind him is no one important. And then the 07 is Scott Bellum. The 46 of Kelly Milam. In 9th and 10th place is the 42 of Chris McCullough.
Still a number of drivers on pit road. Cody Eldred leaves pit road along with Aspen Belvin and Brad Ray, to just name a few. Travis Elliott still sitting on pit road, as well as Josh Milam.
51 of Travis Elliott. Heavy damage on that thing. He may not be able to get back out there as he is now 6 laps down. 02 of David Overstreet. Heavy damage on that thing. And the 7 of Josh Milam. Those guys all unable to get back out before losing a lap. 71 of Stephen Herman, after being up on his lid, had to get flipped back over, take the flatbed truck to his pit stall, and he is currently scored 1 lap down. He is in 19th place. DJ Mitzel in the 61, also 1 lap down. And oh man, look at that. David Overstreet trying to get back out there, but that car is crab walking bad. That thing is heavily hurt. He needs to get off the track and call it a night. No shame in calling that a night, as that car looks like it is out on a dirt track, as that left front tire is not even moving.
Yeah, just a bit too much damage for him to get back up to speed. Or if he's just trying to make his way back around to pick up, you know, an extra lap here under yellow, but highly unlikely he's going to be able to get back out on the track under green conditions.
Yeah, there's a thing called required repairs and then optional repairs, and sometimes the required and optional really don't know the difference between each other. And that 02, I believe he got all the required repairs done, but yeah, that left front tire is not moving. I think he will be done for the night.
Field gonna double up here. The pace car lights turn off through 1 and 2. Gonna be coming to lap 97, so just a few laps left to go in this one.
Rick Seburn's in the 4 on the outside of the 30 of Todd Poston. Then Dwayne Cooper on the outside of the 8 of Cody Ober. 4 laps to go when we take the green flag. Anything can happen, but the 30 of Todd Poston, only 3 Wide Motorsports driver who is still in position to take advantage of our last caution, as they had hit pit road right before that caution fell. But Todd and Rick gonna make up this restart for row number 1. Oh my goodness, hold on to your butts, as quoted from the Jurassic Park movie, because anything could happen.
Yeah, and Rick Seabrans found himself at the lead coming to the white flag last week, ended up out of fuel, so he's got another chance this week at redemption.
Pace car is off. Here we go. Todd on the throttle. Green flag is out. I'm sorry, I've been doing that all night, and I'm not going to hear the end of it from Dwayne Cooper, but Dwayne all over the back bumper of Rick Seabrans. That 4-car group, big breakaway from the rest of the pack here, as Todd Poston is going to start to pull away now from Rick Seabrans, as Rick Seabrans is going to find himself all alone down the backstretch.
Yeah, Dwayne Cooper drops down in 3rd position on the bottom line. Still have that 0-2 machine down on the apron, but out of the way. Rick dropping back little by little, and looks like Derek Conley got a little contact from Jacob Sayers, but keeps it straight. Rick Seabrans going to fall in line here in 4th, and this 4-car breakaway out front. But Cody Ober's going to stick to the outside, and Rick Seabrans dives down to the bottom.
Ober's going to get turned by Dwayne Cooper. Ober goes to the infield. We stay green for the moment. Cody Ober, though, essentially out of this race with no yellow. Todd Poston in the 30. Dwayne Cooper in the 00 going to turn him. Big contact. That is going to end this race under caution. And Todd Poston in the 30. Now he's going to get turned by the 07 of Scott Bellum. And Dwayne Cooper in the 00 out front for the moment. Not sure how this is going to be ruled by race control. Rick Seabrans currently in 2nd. Chris McCullough in the 42 is 3rd. James Mayer in the 95 is going to be 4th. And unfortunately, someone, I forget his name, is going to be in the top 5 for the moment. But we're going to see how this plays out. But before we do that, we need to go to a replay here as the 30 of Todd Poston is smoking. We go to our MaxSpeedTV replay. And it started with Cody Ober getting turned as they went through the tri-oval. Ober's gonna go through the grass here, but a single car spin will not trigger a caution. And then the 30 of Todd Poston and the 00 Dwayne Cooper make contact, and then the rest of the field piles in. A lot of cars with their engines smoking from this one, including the 71 of Stephen Herman. We're going to go on aboard the 71 machine. As he almost made it through, he was trying to gain as many spots as possible. Going to go upside down for the 2nd time tonight. He is back out there. He is smoking, but he's going to try and finish this thing out.
We are on lap 100. Dwayne Cooper still out front, followed by Rick Seabrans, but still no word from race officials on the final standings.
So the 4 Rick Seabrans in 2nd, Dwayne Cooper in the 00 right now out front. Chris McCullough in the 42 is 3rd, James Mayer 4th, and Todd Poston in the 30. Even though he is smoking, if he can make it to the end of this thing, he unofficially will be scored 5th. So he is holding on for all he can, trying to milk that 30 machine. And the 02 The 0-2 of David Overstreet. Talk about not giving up. Look at that guy. He is still out there. David Overstreet. Perfect example of not giving up. He's got 3 tires. He's still out there. Oh, man, I love it. Checkered flag in the air. Dwayne Cooper in the 0-0. Gonna pick up the win here tonight. Rick Sebren's in the 4, finishing 2nd. And Todd Poston, looks like Todd is gonna cross the start-finish line in 3rd. So maybe he reset his car. Who knows with iRacing timing and scoring sometimes. So we will wait for just a moment from race control, but as of right now, the 0-0 of Dwayne Cooper is your race winner.
I believe it is confirmed. According to the rules, they have made a calling, and that's coming from Alex Green. 0 is going to win this race, it sounds like.
All right, so Dwayne Cooper, your race winner in the 0-0. Guys, we're going to set up our post-race show. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, folks, welcome back to the MaxSpeedTV post-race show here at the 3 Wide Motorsports 250 in Daytona. And our race winner, Dwayne Cooper in the 0-0. Dwayne, you pick up your first win here on the night, tonight on the season. And man, oh man, what a wild last lap that was for you.
Oh, it was definitely wild. I was trying to get behind Todd, and from looking at the replay, my replay I'm looking at right now, and it looks like Mr. Netcode got in between us.
Well, Dwayne, the race from start to finish here tonight at Daytona for you was topsy-turvy, but you found a way to get to that front at the end. Tell us about your race throughout the whole thing.
Well, that high line was working, and I was up in that high line moving around and getting up there, and pretty much, and I said it on my stream that I didn't trust the guys in the middle. So I hold it there very long, and I was hoping I could get around them, and sure enough, caused the damage and beat up the front end of the car, and then I battled back, and I ran behind Cody quite a bit and was comfortable just running behind somebody to maintain to the front. I couldn't get the outside to work no more. Nobody wanted to work with me.
Well, an interesting race for you, a suspenseful race as you had to overcome several incidences and burn your fast repair pretty early to do that.
Yeah, I had to burn it early. That first wreck really messed up the car quite a bit, but I was able to burn it, and you know, I'm falling farther in the standing, so I really needed to just race. And I didn't know what the stages was because I had the driver chat muted. So I was just running up front trying to pick up as many points as I could, and happened to have the Hot Nuts 00 up there at the end.
Well, Dwayne, congratulations. Race win here tonight. Any shout outs, thank yous you'd like to give for this event?
Yeah, of course to everybody in the league that puts it on. Cody, Robert, Alex, Vega for putting up with everybody's stuff, you know, for you and Steve up in the booth, although you're probably the worst one in the booth, you know, so, and also check out Cyber Racing's Steam streams on Facebook, you know, if you want to get a driver's point of view during the race, because it's, don't bring your kids when you listen to it.
So what you're saying is it's not a family-friendly stream.
No, it's 18 and over, and that's because I have naked women dancing while I'm driving. So.
Oh, you know what? I am done broadcasting. I'm just watching your stuff from here on out.
Well, to compete with you guys, that's the only way I can do it.
Well, thank you very much that you had to cheat to win for that competition. That means a lot.
Yeah. Last time I got in with the 30, it didn't end good. So, you know, that's the one that I wrecked under caution. So. I feel bad for Todd, but I don't think it was my bumper. I think it was net code.
All right, Dwayne. Well, you know, no one was implying that you were cheating on the racetrack. I was implying you were cheating in your stream. But great job out there tonight. Overcame quite a bit and picking up the race win.
Thank you, guys.
That is the 00 of Dwayne Cooper, tonight's race winner, and a awesome drive for him. But I'll tell you what, Steve, you've caught up with Scott Bellum.
Yeah, I'm here with Scott in the 07 post race. Scott, on lap 98 when that caution popped, you were running in the 8th position and got into that wreck a little bit there, but you were able to outlast a number of the other damaged cars and were able to bring that thing home in 3rd place by the time lap 100 crossed off the board. How crazy was that last lap there before the caution fell?
Yeah, it was a little hectic there. I just tried keeping the car straight and tried to hit as less things as I possibly could. Just keep the car rolling and make sure, you know, I could blend back in and get some positions out of it.
Yeah, well, I'd say 5 positions just in that caution on the caution laps there coming to the end is quite a bit. I mean, you found yourself with a podium finish and you outlasted a good number of other cars. What kind of issues were you having there towards the end? Were a lot of cars having engine damage problems or pulling off or just not able to keep it straight? I saw you got into the 30 there a little bit, but you were able to sort of outlast them there in those final laps.
Yeah, I actually had some pretty major damage after that last caution. I actually lost my left front tire. I was actually surprised I made it around the last 2 laps under caution. But I ran most of the race, about 75 laps with front end damage, and just tried staying in the draft and make sure I could keep up with everybody.
And that's kind of a theme we saw throughout the night where a lot of cars having to run with damage, some of it taken on early in the race and using fast repairs up. At what point in the race did you have to resort to using your fast repair?
I got kind of hung up in the first caution, so I had to use my fast repair after that. Then I kind of just had to baby it around the rest of the way. Kind of rode in the back, tried missing. I did miss a couple wrecks there in the middle of the race, but still ended up with some front end damage.
Yeah, and how much does that change your strategy there if you have to resort to that fast repair early as far as the aggression level throughout the rest of this race, considering it is 100 laps here at Daytona, which is quite a while?
It changes the strategy quite a bit because you can't be as aggressive because you've taken on any more damage. You have a real hard time staying up there unless you're trapped in the draft in the middle of a pack where you got a car pushing you. So, like I said, I just kind of hung out in the back, stayed in the draft, made sure I was able to keep up.
Well, you did just that. You were able to keep it out front until the final lap, checked off the board, bringing this thing home in third. In your Ford Mustang in the 07 car. Anybody out there you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody at OP, Rob, Cody, Alex, Vega for doing race control, you guys for putting on the show, and then also my team, Imperial Motorsports, and my dirt team, Online Outlaws.
All right, thank you, Scott, for coming up and having a chat with us. Again, congrats on the third place podium finish, and look to see you out here next week.
All right, thank you.
That's Scott Bellum, your third place finisher tonight in the 07 car. AR, quite a hectic night here at Daytona. Long stretches of green flag runs, a few occasions of some big wrecks that saw damage tear up big chunks of the field at different times throughout this race. You got Dwayne Cooper coming home with the win as one of the survivors of this race, Scott Bellum. Rick Seaburns does bring it home in second in the Ford machine. Really just a tale of survival tonight.
Oh, absolutely. A great race from start to finish. iRacing does have it set up to where you can do the overtime stuff. So tonight we finish under yellow here in the OP Racing. But man, that does not take away from the fact that we saw dramatic finishes in both stages and at the end of this event. And not only were those ending in dramatic fashion, but leading up to it, we didn't know what was going to happen next. The racing was spectacular. And all that has left us with for the rest of the night is to go through the results. So, Steve, you want to take us through the top 10?
Yeah, your race winner tonight is that 00 Dwayne Cooper finishing first. Second place is going to be Rick Seaburns in the Ford machine. The 07 of Scott Bellum is your third place finisher, and that wraps up the podium. Jacob Sayers in the 39 going to end up fourth. Chris McCullough in the 42 going to be fifth, and that's your top five. Cody Eldred in the 14 car going to end up sixth. James Mayer in the 95 is your seventh place finisher. 15 machine of Alex Green going to end up eighth. Right behind him in the 184 is your last week's winner, Len McNeese, going to get ninth place finish, so a top 10 for him. Rounding out your top 10 is the 62 of Les Levy.
11th place going to rookie Brad Ray. The 12th place finisher, the 46 of Kelly Milam. Derek Conley will finish 13th after leading the most laps here tonight. Aspen Belvin will finish 14th, and Cody Ober will finish in the top 15. In 16th, Todd Poston. Squirmin Herman will be 17th. DJ Mitzel 18th. 19th going to David Overstreet, despite having 3 wheels. Josh Milam in the 7 will finish in 20th. 21st going to Travis Elliott. 22 finishing spot goes to David McCullough. Kenneth McCullough will finish 23rd. Josh Durham will be in 24th. And 25th will be Brandon Beckrow. 26th and final finishing going to Ernie Williams. And as always, Mark Vega, our race control for the night, credited with a 27th finish. But we thank him for sticking with us and being the race control. What a wild night this was. Steve, last final thoughts on the race tonight?
Yeah, just coming away with it with you saw a lot of drivers ramp up the aggression tonight, going for the win, and you really can't complain about that. I mean, that's the whole reason everybody comes out here, and they definitely did that to try and win the race. And a lot of three-wide racing early on, a lot of battles for the lead throughout the race. You saw a handful of cars have really strong nights, but again, congrats to Dwayne Cooper on the win in that 00, and sure we'll be in store for another great race next week as we head to Daytona 2007.
That we will. And guys, make sure you tune in for that right here on Monday night at about 7:50 p.m. Central. So until then, OP Racing Speedway, they'll be kicking off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You can find them under the league tabs if you'd like to try and join these guys. That is the OP Racing Super Speedway Series and also the OP Racing Throwback Series. So guys, that'll do it for us here tonight. Tomorrow night is the Vapor Trail Clothing Series. Make a Wish 53. That will be at Talladega. So if you haven't had enough of the Super Speedway action, make sure you tune in tomorrow night for that as Steve Baker himself tries to go for the win. So guys, have a good night, and thank you so much for joining us.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.